If you sit and wait to feel like you are the most confident person in the room, you are probably going to be left by yourself. I want to be a good leader, not a good lady leader. I don't want to be known simply as the woman who gave birth. One of the criticisms I've faced over the years is that I'm not aggressive enough or assertive enough, or maybe somehow, because I'm empathetic, it means I'm weak. I totally rebel against that. I refuse to believe that you cannot be both compassionate and strong. Everything I've ever thought about doing has been, in some sense, about helping people. How great it would be for us all to have the pride of knowing that we, as a country, are one of the best countries to be a child. The thing that drives people more often than not is they genuinely feel that they can make a difference. So that means there are nice people in politics. I really rebel against this idea that politics has to be a place full of ego and where you're constantly focused on scoring hits against each one another. Yes, we need a robust democracy, but you can be strong, and you can be kind. I am a thinker, and I do muse over things a lot and am constantly assessing whether I am doing enough or what I should be doing more of to make sure I am not letting anyone down. I didn't think I would be Prime Minister, because I didn't consider it. But that's the power of saying yes, because there will be a moment when someone asks you to do something beyond your comfort zone. I am not unique. I don't think that the next generation should fear just being who they are rather than conforming to an expectation of what they are meant to be. Never feel like you have to tick all of the boxes on everything to be able to feel like you can do a job. I have heard it said many times before, and it is so true. It is a woman's decision about when they choose to have children, and it should not predetermine whether or not they are given a job or have job opportunities. I am not the first woman to multitask. I am not the first woman to work and have a baby. There are many women who have done this before. Yes, we believe in globalization and trade, but we also believe in you being able to benefit from that more. For too long, we progressives have seemed like part of the system. We need to start thinking about whether or not it's delivering for us now. Everyone knows that I have just accepted, with short notice, the worst job in politics. When you're a bit of an anxious person, and you constantly worry about things, there comes a point where certain jobs are just really bad for you. If we want to make workplaces more open, we need to acknowledge logistical challenges. By being more open, it might create a path for other women. I think that has to do with our perception of politics. There are nice politicians. There is something about this job that does take an extra bit of motivation to get out of bed in the morning. Even going out to get milk becomes a little bit challenging, just because there is a whole entourage that then travels with me for this simple thing. So I tend to try and find ways not to inconvenience a whole raft of other people, so it changes my mindset a little bit. I hope for little girls and boys that there is a future where they can make choices about how they raise their family and what sort of career they have, which is based on what they want and what makes them happy. I'd say it was always in me, it's just what's required of you is very different in the moment that you become leader. When you're part of a team, you defer, and you're there to support your leader. It becomes tricky if you ever try to partition off what might be seen as sexist criticism. To be honest, I just don't engage. The best way I can rebel against those notions is being competent, good at my job. We're looking to ways to build in the responsibility we have on climate change and the way that we approach, potentially, climate change refuges in the future amongst our neighbors. Things like promoting healthy behaviors, including nutrition and activity, and beginning that at school is so critical. We used to have a healthy eating, healthy action plan, elements of which really were dumped by the last government, so we're trying to rebuild a bit of a program of action in that space. Issues like obesity do, as you well know, have a knock-on effect to diabetes. So we all are better off if we invest early in prevention. All of the things that people said that I would experience, that idea that you suddenly have this new person in your life that you could love so much and that time will go incredibly quickly, but that the nights will seem incredibly long, all of that has been true, but it has been wonderful. The challenging thing from a work perspective is just the range of things on any given day that you're dealing with and making sure you have the headspace to really be giving them the thought and consideration you'd like to. Dame Jacinda Kate Laurel Ardern, born the 26th of July 1980 in Hamilton, New Zealand. She grew up in Morrinsville and Murupara, where her father, Ross Ardern, worked as a police officer, and her mother, Laurel Ardern Bottomley, worked as a school catering assistant. Ardern was raised in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints (LDS Church) and her uncle Ian S. Ardern is a general authority in the church. She studied at Morrinsville College, where she was the student representative on the school's board of trustees. Whilst still at school, she found her first job, working at a local fish and chip shop. Jacinda Ardern is a New Zealand politician who served as the 40th Prime Minister of New Zealand and leader of the Labour Party from 2017 to 2023. A member of the Labour Party, she was a Member of Parliament (MP) as a list MP from 2008 to 2017, and for Mount Albert from 2017 to 2023. She joined the Labour Party at the age of 17. After graduating from the University of Waikato in 2001, Ardern worked as a researcher in the office of Prime Minister Helen Clark. She later worked in London as an advisor in the Cabinet Office during Tony Blair's premiership. In 2008, Ardern was elected president of the International Union of Socialist Youth. Ardern was first elected as an MP in the 2008 general election, when Labour lost power after 9 years. She was later elected to represent the Mount Albert electorate in a by-election on the 25th of February 2017. Ardern was unanimously elected as deputy leader of the Labour Party on 1 March 2017, after the resignation of Annette King. Exactly 5 months later, with an election due, Labour's leader Andrew Little resigned after a historically low opinion polling result for the party. With Ardern elected unopposed as leader in his place. Labour's support increased rapidly after Ardern became leader, and she led her party to gain 14 seats at the 2017 general election on the 23rd of September, winning 46 seats to the National Party's 56. After negotiations, New Zealand first chose to enter a minority coalition government with Labour, supported by the Green Party, with Ardern as Prime Minister. She was sworn in by the Governor-General on 26 October 2017. She became the world's youngest female head of government at age 37. In March 2019, Ardern reacted by rapidly introducing strict gun laws, winning her wide recognition. Throughout 2020 she led New Zealand's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, for which she won praise for New Zealand being one of the few Western nations to successfully contain the virus. It is estimated that her government's actions saved as many as 80,000 lives. Ardern moved the Labour Party further to the centre towards the October 2020 general election, promising to cut spending during the remainder of the COVID-19 recession. She led the Labour Party to a landslide victory, gaining an overall majority of 65 seats in Parliament, the first time a majority government had been formed since the introduction of a proportional representation system in 1996. On 19 January 2023, Ardern announced she would resign as Labour leader, prompting global reactions about her leadership style and policy decisions.